Good morning. I thought I'd come on and do something a little bit different. I was thinking I might do a sales update because I'm due one, and I'll probably do one in a couple of days. But I thought it would be good. There's a lot of Christmas cheer videos going on, so I thought I'd do something about eBay's highs and lows and be a bit of a Ebenezer Scrooge. But no, just a bit of realism really on how sales will go, definitely in my experience, sort of over the next month or two. So sales obviously are great over Q4. They're absolutely fantastic. And this is the time of year to sell. Hi, Laura. Hi, Mike. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a video really for anyone who's kind of newish to reselling, as to maybe to get some realism on what might sort of happen in January, February. Hi, Faye Simon, how you doing? Hi, Tommy. Everyone's popping in. I thought I was going to be on my own, to be honest, but yeah, we've got some of the crew in. So, all right, Tommy, how you doing? Yeah, just a bit of realism, really. So, if you've maybe started reselling this year, and over the last sort of few months, you're thinking, Christ, this is absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm not saying that they will definitely decrease in January and February. And in actual fact, in January, people may well be still spending Christmas money that they've got or be trying to look for bargains. But almost inevitably, sales will drop off after the Q4 period. And that has got to be something you've got to expect. In my experience, they've probably dropped off by about a third. Not enough realism. Yeah, I should do a thumbnail. I'm crap at eBay. My sales are rubbish. But okay, I was doing this morning, and I'll tell you a number of things that can happen with sales. Okay, firstly, your underlying sales may well drop off. And so you start to have, I always look at my 31-day graph. Okay. Now, today I've woken up and I've had a £200 day drop off, which is a good day. And I've got a £300 day dropping off tomorrow. And it's kind of like, it's silly really to look at these individual days and just think, how on earth am I going to make £300 a day? Because you do need to look at it over the average. The main metric I use is I look at sales over 12 months and I divide it by 12 to give me an average per month. But you could look at, okay, what are my sales over 12 months? And I have that rolling. And the reason I do that is because it gives me the whole year, always encompasses the whole year, be it January to December or February through to the next January or March through to the next February. It always takes all of the 12 months. I've got some more people coming in. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Sam. Hi, Indy. Hi, Laura. Hi, Hurricane. Hi, Jeff. So yeah, when you're starting reselling, obviously it's quite easy to get to a certain point, be it, £1,000 worth of turnover or £1,500 worth of turnover, whatever. And it's if you've started, say, in the summer and you're working towards Q4, you will probably see it will go from 1,000 to maybe the next month you might get 1,100 and you might get like 1,200. Now, I did a little, being a bit of a mathematician, a bit of a sado. Let me just show you this. Okay, so someone in the chat give me a percentage of monthly growth, like be it 10% or, 5% or 20%. Any number you want. If no one says anything, I'll pick one myself. But I'm going to start with let's say £2,000 turnover. This is turnover, remember. So in terms of profit, depending on your business model, my business model, that might be like £1,500 profit or £1,300 profit. Other people, it might be 800. 15%. Okay, so here we go. 15% growth a month. Okay, so it's quite high. That's quite high growth. I should look at the state of this screen. Let's take this cover off. I'll tell you what, I'll go with Ian's, okay, because I think it's a little bit more realistic. I'm going to do 7%, okay, on 2,000 over 12 months. So what I'm doing is I'm timesing it. There we go. Let's try and get this right. By 1.07, okay. So month one, we're going to do 12 months. Month one, okay. So first month was 2,000. Second month, 2,140. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've ended up with 4,200. Like in 12 months, you're going from 2,000 to 4,000. And if you are constantly going into eBay and looking at the little, compared to last month, compared to this time last year, I think you're gonna drive yourself crackers, thinking, I've got to consistently reach that growth, especially on a month-on-month. Now, I do set myself goals, and goals are great, but I don't think you can get bogged down with the monthly figures, and especially at this time of year. As I said at the start, I think you're almost guaranteed that your turnover over the last 2 months is not going to be as the same as the turnover in the next 2 or 3 months. That's just I see Shell's calling me a sado. I haven't got any my graphs out yet. I might do a Trump and go on about Wisconsin and vote dumps. But yeah, it's just a bit of realism, and of course, a number of things are feeding into this. Not only the fact that the sales are going down because people have got all their Christmas gifts, etc., etc., but you may have orders that have come in and people aren't just paying for them. So I've had that, that, and that has been included in my graph. So I've had I sold a clarinet for £60, but the person didn't pay. So that's like £60, and £60 is doesn't seem huge, but say if you've got in the space of 2 days, I've got £500 dropping off my graph. I've got £60 that hasn't been paid. And I also have had £200 worth of returns. And, they might change your mind or whatever. I had one change of mind and one wasn't working. And, of course, I did all my process. I'm quite tight and, we'll keep a check on whether these returns are genuine. But you have to factor this in, the fact that because you're selling so much over the Christmas period, there's going to be a certain element of returns. So, I mean, I think I was prompted to do this. One, I was prompted to do this because I didn't want to do another sales video. But there are so many sort of clips of people with really, really great sales, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm having great sales at the moment. But I don't want anyone's kind of expectation to get too high sort of in the next few months. I don't want people to get down if their sales have gone down, because as pretty much everyone knows, eBay is a bit of a roller coaster. There are highs, and this is the highs. And you could take this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. And it's what to do about it. I mean, so I can see a drop-off happening at the moment. It may turn around and I may have a fantastic day. But of course, you've almost got to put the blinkers on and ignore the fact that, your turnover might go down, and stick with a routine of, okay, I do know what to do to resolve any, sales. Because worst thing you can do is just do nothing. Best thing you can do is list, obviously, and keep busy. So, yeah, I mean, at 15%, I think if I put those figures, so we saw from on the 7%, if you started off with 2,000 and grew 7% every month, you'd end up with double the turnover in 12 months, which is, great if you can do it. On a 15%, I think you'd probably end up about 4 times the amount of something ridiculous. So Tom is right in what he's saying there. don't blow your quarter four earnings, and don't let that raise your expectation of, say if you started eBay and you're like, okay, I want to turn over $3,000 a year, and in quarter four you're like, Christ, I'm 3.5, I'm here. I've done it. That doesn't mean you've done it and you're there for good, because I've been there. I've been like a lot higher than that, and I've come down a lot lower than that. So, I could be up in the mid fives, and then I might come down to, I think last year, no, I think it was the year before last, I had a cracking November. No, mainly it's November, up in those mid fives, and I'm thinking, I've got this sussed, I know what I'm doing it. And then bam, 1,600, like a few months later. And that can be kind of like complacency, not listing, not keeping on it. And I just did not realize that it could go so high and so low. So yeah, bear that in mind. I'd like to know how everyone else is doing. Faye and Simon are just sort of saying, are you up and down on last year? Now, like I say, I do look at the eBay numbers. I think they only take the last 31 days, and they would take the last 31 days and compare them to your previous, and take that last 31 days and compare that to your 31 days 12 months ago. That's how I think it does it. I could be wrong on that. But I like to look at my 12 months rolling. Okay. And my 12 months rolling has always been, let's get this right, has always been like that. That's the graph. Slow and steady. Might have been the odd month where it's gone, the odd rolling 12 where it's gone down. But I would say out of like about 50 months worth of doing this full time, maybe only a couple of dips, but it's always been that gradual growth. So I kind of ignore those figures on eBay, and I try and ignore that 31-day graph, but it's so hard. I mean, like I say, I know I'm going to go in tomorrow, and it would have had £500 knocked off from where it was yesterday, because I've had a 200 and a 300 drop off. Now, I might get a £100 day, I might get a £200 day, I might get a £50 day to replace it. So, that 500 will be offset by a certain amount, but, it's just, I know it's going to go down, but there will be days. I've got small days which will drop off. So I've got like a £20 day, maybe in 8 days' time, which will drop off, and hopefully I can replace that with a big day. It sounds like common sense, but I think what I'm trying to get across is people's expectations. And it certainly makes it more difficult if you do see a lot of posts sort of saying great sales, turnovers, this fantastic. I mean, my sales have been good. I don't generally sort of post. I don't think I post my turnover figures. Might be wrong. Yeah, if I have, it's not a common thing I do. But it's I could sum up my sales since I've been doing this in like 3 words, and it's up and down. And like I always say, what you try and do is keeps the ups more uppy and the downs less downy. And at the moment, because it's quarter four, it's pretty uppy. That's good. Right, what are people saying? So, Faye, Simon, to answer your question, is it generally up or down the same period as last year? It will be a little bit up. Like I say, I have that gradual growth, which is really due to better sourcing, like knowledge, and that's like a long-term, gradual thing that's sort of slowly soaking into my brain, that I can source better organisation, and better looking at things on eBay that isn't selling. That's what's helped it. Definitely. Adrian, how important would you say your stock diversification is compared to a more niche shop? Well, I've never had a niche shop, but I'd certainly, for myself, I love the variety in my shop. You know, I think if I even with like selling platforms, I don't like putting my eggs in one basket. So, you know, I have a few selling platforms and I have a few other things, you know, to earn money basically. And I think it's very important. Obviously, with a niche shop, you can really, you know, hit something hot and make loads and loads of money. But by the nature of it, it's going to be boom and bust. And if you're selling one thing and it's doing well, other sellers will be attracted to that, and price will come down. And there's only a certain sort of lifespan for something like that, unless you can like do a niche, do another niche, do another niche. But my preference is just to have a wide variety. In the US, it seems to be overall Q4 has been a bit blah. The rest of the pandemic was high. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, my sales have been consistently good through. I mean, the lockdown kicked it off, the first one, which was, I mean, I forget when that was now, probably March time, and it was like, yeah, sales are brilliant because people are stuck at home. And then when people went back after the first one, sales went down a little bit, but not too harsh. It wasn't like a post-Christmas hangover. But that only lasted maybe a month and a half, and then they were back up. And this is at Q4 levels, really. But going into Q4, it's maintained the same kind of sales level as it had since lockdown. And it's only now probably, you know, so in answer to the question, I've probably had about 9 months of high sales with a little dip after the first lockdown. But now I'm seeing that sales are beginning to sort of just dip slightly. And what I'm saying is, you know, I'm expecting that, you know, I'm not expecting them consistently to go on at the high levels. And the thing to obviously do is just keep organised, keep listing, and ride it through. Mark sells new TV DVD players and DVD video combos, and that's the £100 return I had on a combo, which I'm a little bit worried I'm going to get a negative feedback for. So I was ringing eBay yesterday with a preemptive strike on it. If he leaves me negative, you will remove it. But that's another story. I think you may have mentioned about your Asdas and everything. You sell, so you get them new. You sell new TV, DVD players and DVD video combos at realistic prices. So the big question mark is, where do you source them? That's but I don't imagine you're going to tell us. So Mike has hit his first target. That was 500. Was that 500 for the month? If you have that, it's great. Congratulations on that. But like I say, bear in mind, Mike, that this is the good period, and don't get down if your sales go down. Just keep on consistently with the work and keep it efficient. You know, try and keep that time management. Indy's not in the growth phase. Yeah, I know. Louise isn't. Some people are happy reaching a level, and to be honest, I'm happy reaching a level. I don't think, I want to be like 3 times what I'm earning. And I've said this before on my channel. Really, I'm doing it because of the lifestyle it brings. But I do love it getting more efficient, and I do, you know, I did have a turnover figure in my head, and I like consistently. I don't always make it, okay, but the fact that I'm making it more and more often, shows me I'm getting better at what I'm doing. And you know, and the better I get, even without trying, I might, you know, make more than that goal. So, you know, so F&S, what were you doing this time last year? You were up 225 on this time last year. Yeah, mine are up, not that much, but pure retro, not all bolos and high returns. Yeah, Well, it is difficult, and like I say, it's all about the expectation. And if you're kind of like thinking, why is it that it's gone down? What is it that I'm doing? I mean, don't worry about it. Some things are out of your control if your numbers are going down. But if you're not selling, list. If you haven't got stuff to list, source. If you're not making enough money, and try and source better and go further. But it's all down to that consistent listing, consistent sales. And I can't say that if you definitely do this, then your sales will increase. Everyone has to look at it individually. And of course, people may be listing 1,000 items and nothing selling, but their prices might be wrong and their photos might be rubbish. So you just don't know. Kieran's in the house. How you doing, Kieran? Just keeping it real. So Tommy never ever looks at eBay's 30 days in the seller hub. It's only one category. I thought it was everything, Tommy, but I will have to check that. I thought it was all sales. Definitely for me, it's all sales. Pretty sure of that, but I'll look into that. If not, it means my turnover is a lot higher than I thought. But let's have a look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is all sales, because if I look at today's bar, it's made up of different categories. But I'll stand to be corrected on that. But yeah, it's probably a good thing not to look at it, and why worry about something that a big sales day that you had 31 days ago dropping off the graph, so your overall number is not the same. What the important thing is what you do today. If you wake up in the morning and have your breakfast and you go, oh God, I'm only you turn on your eBay app and it's last 90 days is gone down to like $6,000 and disaster. What's the point? What it should be is you wake up, have your breakfast, and put the blinkers on and go, I've got 5 items here. There's this bloke on the internet who, like, first thing in the morning, he lists 5 items and he gets them done. He's amazing. So, and that should be it. Don't get too hung up or focused on those numbers. eBay wants you to believe you're always doing better. That is true. Because those graphs, if you have a cancellation, I believe the figures can stay in there for a certain amount of time. If you have a refund, I do think they go out, but again, it takes time. And you just have to be aware of the real numbers behind everything. And that's why it's quite important to do your financials on a regular basis. So Neil is saying, I'm turning over 60K every 90 days. Well, if you're talking pence, no, not even that, I don't think. No, I'm not near that. It's probably, it has been near 10, but it's not a huge amount. Don't make a huge amount of money. But then again, my profit margin is high compared to other people, so I do see higher figures. But obviously, that's people might be doing arbitrage, or they might be kind of like paying up for items, and obviously that'll eat into your profit. So, but I don't really talk a lot. Like I say, other people's figures, they can definitely serve as inspiration, but really, I get my inspiration from my own growth and sort of being more organised and doing things better and keeping a consistency. That is what I like. How much of your inventory do you try and sell a month? Well, roughly in my head, if I'm selling things, and this is very, very average, because I can sell things from like £5 to £250, but say on average, if I'm selling items for an average of £30, I would like to sell 4 or 5 things a day. So that is a real, but like I say, that's a real rough answer. Etic, who has been here before, who I said last time that I said, hello, you're new. And he wasn't new. He's been here all the time. So good to see you again, Etic. He went to the car boots. Yeah, you get in the groove, don't you? You know, sometimes I go to car boots and I'm out of the practice, and you kind of get in the groove of it. It's like anything. So, Tommy, you're saying about the figures. Look below the last 31 days sales. It says in fine print, market comparison gives you yours market data. I'll look into that. Paul Clement, one of the highs of reselling is positive feedback. Now, in actual fact, feedback, I don't think makes a huge difference to whether people buy your stuff or not, but it certainly does affect you. So, you know, if I got a neutral, it would almost seem like the end of the world. It would put me in a right old arsey mood for the next 10 minutes. No one could talk to me for the next 10 minutes, but it's daft really, because in reality, it's not like I'm going to lose, 5% of potential sales. It doesn't affect it, but I know what you mean. 58% of customer sales result in positive feedback. Yeah. It definitely means, I would say, it means positive feedback, and the feedback system means more to you when you're starting reselling. And it's like anything related to numbers. I mean, it's just crazy, really. You know, if I'm on, I don't know what feedback I'm on, but I'm on about, where is it? Yeah, I'm on 2,324. I know that when I get to like 2,999, I'll be like, ooh, getting all excited that it's flipping over to 3,000. Which is just silly, because it's just a number. And that's the same with turnover. You know, if you're, if you've set a goal of like 3,000 turnover in a month and you're there on 2,990, you're like, oh, come on. And it's just a number. You know, it's the gradual growth I think you've got to look at. Yeah, Chris saying he doesn't use the graph. Good thing to, things can distract you. Not only like people on YouTube blabbing on for half an hour in the morning, but, graphs, numbers, you can just become fixated. Are you ever worried about the next tax threshold? No, I don't worry about the next tax threshold, because if I earn it, then I pay it. And, so, I mean, I was like that when I had a job, no point worrying about the higher tax rate, because it actually means you're earning the money. 90 days, Etic is profit. So you say your profit margins are high. Do you mean, actually, I think what you mean is your profit margins are quite low, but profit margins are high. Well, if they're high, that's good, because you're getting a high profit. But you've got a lot of outgoings by the sound of it. You're renting a 3-bedroom house and a family are eating. Yeah. Isn't it disgusting? I have that. I have to pay for food, but there you go. Yeah, Tommy talking about new sellers see certain figures first. And yeah, get real with it. 58% of customers tend to leave you feedback. Paul, I never chase feedback. I feel like that's like poking a snake. So I'd rather have no feedback than risk getting someone say, actually, this was not right. So there you go. I did with Amazon. When I did Amazon FBM to try and get started on Amazon, if I sent something that sold on Amazon, I put in the packing slip and put a little handwritten note saying, I hope you enjoy the product. Please, could you leave me feedback, and highlighted on the packing slip. It gives the link for the feedback. So I did that to get my first 20 feedbacks. Right, everyone's talking. Most unusual. Yeah, I think maybe I should take the graphs off my hub. Probably be a good thing to do. Yeah. If you get a negative feedback, yeah, I'll tell you what. This return I got on the video combi. Of course, I checked his feedback left for others, and out of the last 15, there's 3 reds. It's like here we go, and which is why I rang eBay, because I said to them, I'll tell you the story about this. So video combi went out. I tested it. It was worked fine. He got it. Said it chucked the tape out after a bit, and his discs got stuck in it. And I said, okay, return it. Paid for a return. Got it back. Actually plugged it in yesterday. It didn't seem to be working, but then tried it a bit later, and it was. And yeah, it wasn't working. It was fair enough. So I rang eBay. But when I rang them, I thought, I thought it wasn't working. I said, actually, like, I sent it to him working. It's come back not working. Now I know I have seller protection, or I should have, because my top rated seller performance. So I do have the option to refund a percentage amount, but out of goodwill, I won't do that. But I want to make sure that if he leaves a negative, it will get removed. And they said, yeah. So it was a preemptive strike on eBay, and that's on record. So that's well worth doing. But we'll see. Do I promote my listings? Now, some people are really into it. I think Tommy is really into it. I'm not into it. What I'll do is I very much am focused on what week things were listed in. So, and I do that on a rolling kind of 26 weeks. So I'm on week 23 at the moment. I've got 24, 25, 26, take me to the end of the year. And then I start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I will make sure that every 3 months, it's a bit explaining this, because I started doing this for every 6 months, but I've brought it down to 3. But every 3 months, what I listed 3 months ago gets reviewed. So at the moment, I'm listing for week 23, but I'll look at week 23 and week 10. It's all a bit kind of complicated. I need to renumber it so it kind of comes back round. I'll go to 1 to 13, then comes back round, because that will give me kind of every quarter I look at what hasn't sold, and then I look at price, and I look at photos, and I look at description, and I lower my price. How can you look at buyers' feedback left for others? If you're on a PC, you just click on their user ID when you see them. It'll have the bracket with their feedback score. I think you might have to click on the feedback score. That'll take you to their feedback page. And then there'll be a section for overall feedback, feedback left as a buyer, feedback left as a seller, and feedback left for others. And that's what you're looking for, feedback left for others. 75% profit. Oh, that's good. That's quite good. It's the Global Thrifters. Hello, Global Thrifters with their green hearts. Good to see you. Yeah, so I'm done with my Christmas cheer about be realistic with your sales, like dropping off for the next few months. I am Scrooge. But hopefully at the moment everyone's having fantastic sales and it's all going very well. Like I say, it is going well for me. Can't complain. But like I say, I imagine in sort of 6 weeks' time, and I could be wrong because you never know circumstance, like Brexit. Are you allowed to say Brexit? A bit of a swear word in my house, but if there's 20 billion lorries clogged up in Folkestone and the shops are empty, it might be another bonanza for eBay sellers. I might have to go and source a load of baked beans. Who knows? But there you go. Right, if there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer. But if not, pile that cash up. Is that what you do, Simon? You just like pile it all up. You've got a cash room. But yeah, just enjoy it for the moment. If you do continue to sort of grow your turnover through sort of February compared to sort of where it was in sort of December, January, November, please put a comment in and tell me how you do it, because I find that time of February, March, when you're not going to boot sales either, that's a tough time and you're almost itching to get back and source. yeah, that would be good to know. But is anyone else concerned about global shipping program sales after January the 1st? Interesting point. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's any sort of message from eBay about that. I'm sure there's got to be something. I think there's issues with Amazon, and a lot of people. I changed my Amazon ages ago to UK only, but yeah. Right, I'm going to go now. That is the end of my stating the bleeding obvious. Thank you all for watching me. It's not really a rant. It's just don't get down if your sales go down. Expect it. And I'll tell you what, if you end up having good sales, it's a Brucey bonus. But I'll end with Tommy's question. Do I think Z will have combed his hair? At least he's got hair. It's one good thing. I'm not too concerned about his hair. I'm more concerned about like little dog hairs and bits of white fluff on his sweat top. And one of his early videos in his shop, I saw the toilet and the seat was up. I couldn't believe it. But there you go. I only saw it the once. I think he's kept the door closed. Yeah, thank God. It's not a good one for customer sales. But I look forward to seeing these videos. They have been brilliant. Shell's to see those hairs. Right. Take care, all. Catch you later. Shell Staruni is doing a Vlogmas. You doing one today, Shell? I think it's on around about 5 o'clock when I'm kind of like eating and kids are running around. But I do normally catch up on them. So she's on day 3 at the moment. So tune in for that. And Tommy was on. I think it's on this morning. I've got to catch up with that. Yeah, lots of great content going on. All the Vlogmases. I know Carla's doing Vlogmas and Nick's doing loads of stuff. So yeah, Shell's just drinking booze. Right, I'm going to skedaddle. Take care. See you later.